History, lesson number 1, the medieval world. What do you mean by history? History means is the record of the past events, things that happened earlier. History is divided into 3 periods: ancient, medieval, and modern. In India, medieval period means from the 8th centuries to the 13th century. And the 8th century is generally taken as the beginning because there took place great changes in the field of religion, culture, politics. That is the reason why it is taken as the basis of the history. Medieval period is divided into early medieval period. Medieval period means starting from 8th to the 13th century, and the late medieval period, that means that is from the 13th to the 18th century. Now we are going to see who were in the power during the early medieval period. During the early medieval period, the Palas, Parthiharas, Rashtrakutas, Cholas, and the Rajputs, they were in power. But in the late medieval period, Turks, Afghans, and the Mughals were ruling the country. Now the next one that we are going to learn is that India is known by different names. And India is having the names Bharat. India is having the name Hindustan. India is having another name, Bharat Varsha. So different time people said called India in different names, and some of the people called India as the Hindua. So different names are used for the country India. Nowadays Hindustan is also used for mentioning India. So people name India in different. Even the British people called India as Hindustan. During that time India was ruled by different people, and Hindustan is comprised of the Delhi Sultanate, and the Delhi Sultanate was founded by King Mughal Emperor Babur. Babur founded the Mughal Empire. We are going to see the major historical developments during the medieval period. The first point is that the coming of the Muslims. The coming of the Muslim was a great event in the medieval period, and the Muslims were very powerful. They started interacting between the people of North and South India. So the North India and the South India, they mingled together, and there was a friendly relationship between the Hindus and the Muslims. The culture of the Muslim and the Hindus were exchanged each other, and they forgot the regional and caste differences. In that way, Indian culture is formed. In India, you know that there is a multicultural. We don't discriminate people in the field of culture, religion, and territories. The next point is that the Muslim dynasties provided that political stability to the country. Muslims were very powerful, and that powerful existence led to the rapid growth of towns and cities. And the third point is that trade led to greater interaction between the people from different parts of the world. You know that we have trade relationship with other countries of the world. That is, we have trade relation mostly nowadays with China, Pakistan. Now it is cut short, that's not the thing, but there is the trade relationship between the countries of the world, and they borrowed many things from the culture of the other countries. Or during the medieval period, Islam spread in India in a greater extent. Islam means the faith of the Muslims. And during that time, there were two movements called the Bhakti and the Sufi. Bhakti means devotion, and that started in South India. In the Bhakti movement, people dedicate themselves to the gods. Sufi movement means they sing songs for the gods and goddesses. These two things we will learn in detail in lesson number 9. History lesson number 9. Bhakti and Sufi movement will be taught in details. Now let us see what are the sources of information during the medieval world. We have the sources, we have the archaeological sources, and the next source is the literary sources. Archaeological sources include palaces, mosques, fort, tombs, coins, inscriptions, utensils, tools, weapons, ornaments, and paintings. These things give us an idea of the political, social, and economic history of the time. Then the temples are also a source of religious and cultural history. Paintings are another valuable source. In the painting, we will come to know about the custom, food habits, dress, and jewelry of the people. Coins are very important study of the medieval period. They gave us dates of important political events. And the next one is that the literary sources. Literary sources means written records of the medieval periods that we will get in writing. During the medieval period, paper was widely used, and therefore most of the writings were done in the paper. In the literary period, you will get the biographies, autobiographies, and the farmans. Farmans means the king's orders. Those things were in writings. The next point is chronicles. What do you mean by chronicles? Chronicle means a record of the rule of the kings and the life at the court. Or the most of the kings had the chroniclers. Chroniclers means who write the details of the things that happened during their rule. Or most of the writings were in Persian and Turkish. Now you have got different writings during the chronicle periods that you can go through the book. Autobiographies and biographies are the next pages. That means the writings of different people we will get in the medieval period. Through that writing, their life and their culture, everything was written. Then the Akbarnama was also describes the events of Emperor Akbar and his rule, like the Prithviraja Raso, that also give us the details of the Prithviraja Chauhan. The next one is the travelogue. Many travelers visited during the medieval period. Some of the important travelers are Marco Polo. Then comes the Niccolo Conti, then the Niccolo, many European travelers from Dutch, travelers from France, many people visited and came to the medieval period in our country. Then there is the writing and the letters. These writings will give us important information of the things that existed during the medieval world. So that different characters are there that vary from period to period.